evaluation contest, and I'll bring up our chief judge, Tanya, in just a couple minutes to tell us a little bit more about that. And we'll do things a little bit differently than we typically do in meetings. We do, and Tanya will speak more to this, but we'll have one person who will give a speech, and then our contest is actually for the people who are evaluating the speech. We'll be evaluating who gives the best evaluation of our speaker. To begin, I have a couple of announcements. Sarah Jenkins, our treasurer, couldn't be here today, so she asked me to make an announcement. Just a reminder that the renewals, the yearly renewals, are due, and they need to be to her by next Wednesday, March 25th. She will be at the meeting next week, so if you haven't gotten your payment to her, you can do that next week, or I'm happy to take it today. She also said if you feel comfortable, you can send it to her via interclinic mail. She works on Harwick 7, and that's in the quarterly too. So the dues are $42, and yep, again, she'll be here next week, but she does need them by Wednesday, March 25th.
What should be on the check?
Mayo High Owners.
Mayo High Owners.
No postmaster?
Well, let me see here.
It catches quite a few
You know
different
where
ways. As long as you get high meters in there, basically, that takes care of it.
Where Mayo Postmaster.
Yeah.
Any one of those variations.
40.
42 other constants.
Because we can go all. Oddly enough.
If you forget, Jennifer Allen is just
Okay.
Oh, okay, because you don't keep track, right?
I take 5 years worth of.
The next announcement that I have is just a reminder to everyone, we have our open house next Wednesday, March 25th. And so we welcome, of course, your colleagues, your friends, anybody who might be interested, anybody who just has a break for their lunch hour. Please feel free to bring them. We'll have refreshments. And our meeting will follow a regular format so that our guests will be able to see what a Toastmasters meeting looks like. And so we welcome the more the merrier. Next announcement is officers. As you might have heard if you were in the room a little earlier, we do have officers who will be completing their terms in May. And so we will be recruiting. So be thinking about if you're interested in an officer position. We have the typical officer positions with the president, secretary, treasurer, our VP of public relations, VP of education, VP of marketing. Lots of fun opportunity without a whole lot of work and a great team to work with. So please consider that, and you'll hear about that more in the upcoming weeks and months as well. And the final announcement that I have today, and I'll ask for other announcements, but the final one that I have is I'm going to welcome up Amit Ghosh. Amit is a mentor to one of our members, Deanna Constance, who has recently had quite the accomplishment.
Well, it's a very rare honor to get this. This is Deanna has given us 10 speeches, and we have all sat through it, enjoyed it. They've given her good feedback, and we have seen her grow. So this is the first step, and for this, Deanna gets this wonderful badge of competent communicator. Deanna, this is for you.
Thank you.
There's many more good speeches to come.
Hopefully.
Let me go over the thing. It is competent communicator, advanced communicator bronze, advanced communicator silver, advanced communicator gold. That's another 40 lectures.
It'll
30.
take me another 10 years.
No, but
No?
keep going.
I
Keep
will.
going. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And with that, are there any other announcements from anyone? Please stand.
As your area governor, I visited the Winona Toastmasters Club yesterday, and they had two winners of their two people coming to the area contest as the winners of the evaluation. And because we have a very small area, we can send two from all of our contests as well. So the first and second place winners of both of our contests can go to area to compete. And at that point, they only choose one winner to go. Of course, just like in a beauty pageant, if the first winner can't go, then the runner-up is asked to go in their place. We don't want to lose any contestants. And the other thing I wanted to say is that we could have a contest. I'm just going to say I'm going to give a prize for the contest for the person, the member who brings the most guests to the open house next week. So there'll be a prize worth $10. I'm not gonna tell you what it is yet, you'll be surprised, but it's something you can use, or eat, I suppose. And so whoever brings the most guests to the open house will get a prize. So please bring guests, and we will be doing our advertising on Yammer and however else we advertise. But think about bringing just all your office friends. There'll be snacks, and they will think, look, I'm gonna give you free snacks, and then you'll get a prize. Thank you.
Yes, and Tanya, I'm sorry, would you mind the area contest? Just a reminder of the when, where.
Sure, yes, the area contest is, and please, everybody come. There's food there too. It's in Winona. That's right, that was when I got sidetracked, didn't I? It's in Winona on Friday, April 10th at 6:30 p.m. And as many people that want to ride with me can ride with me if they don't want to do their own driving. And let's see. And Winona is hosting it, and we got the Winona Area Chamber of Commerce to give us a meeting room, a competition room for free.
Nice.
Yeah, so
And
let's.
the food is also free?
Yes, everything's free. You just have to go. Oh no, the competition is $5. You have to pay $5. That helps defray other costs. Okay, but if you're speaking and competing, you don't pay any money.
Or your guests don't pay any money.
And your guests who aren't members, they don't pay any money.
Only Toastmasters members pay money.
Yeah,
At the door.
yeah. And there's good parking, and it'll
For
be
you,
fun.
it's $10.
Thank you. Sorry.
So now knowing that you get in free if you are a contestant to the area speech, do we have any additional contestants? No, take
Come on, girls.
With that, I am going to start now the official evaluation contest portion, and to do that, I'm going to invite our Chief Judge Tanya to come and tell us a little bit more about it.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests and future Toastmaster members of Mayo High Nooners. Welcome, everyone. I am the Chief Judge. There will be the people who are not competing and who are not timers, who are members of Mayo Toastmasters, will be judging the evaluators in this competition. They are Deanna Constance and Joe Sharp, and they are appearing in that order.
I thought I was going to be a participant.
You are, you're a competitor. Deanna and you are participating as evaluators.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And so, those of you who are judging their evaluations, I have provided you with a evaluation form. Do you have that in front of you? Okay. Deanna is going first. So under column above number 10, write Deanna's name, please. I'll get out of the way so you can see how to spell it. Joe is competing second. So put Joe's name above number 1. Now, at the bottom of your judging ballot, it says name of contestants. That's where you will put who gets first place and who gets second place. But at the very bottom, it says signature of judge. Please sign your name there or your ballot is invalid. Next to that, please print your name. When you are done judging both contestants, you will tear off the bottom of this ballot, fold it up, and hold it a little bit in the air, and the ballot counters will collect it from you. Ballot counters, that's your job, to collect the ballots from everyone else who's judging. You will then take this piece where you've done all your scribbles and notes and eat it or shred it. But don't leave it around for other people to see because this is private. Okay? I think shredding it would be better than eating it. On the back, there's a few tips on how to judge, but at the club level, you don't have to follow these tips. Just that you judge both of them equally with the same criteria in your mind. So however you want to make notes is fine, but use the same criteria for each contestant. Is there anything else I need to say?
Yes.
Yes?
After the speech, each contestant will be taken out.
Yes.
They'll stay there. They'll be given 5 minutes
Thank you.
to write their evaluations,
Yes.
and they'll
That's
stay out. The first contestant comes, the second contestant stays out,
Correct.
and the second contestant stays out.
I will reiterate that.
And
Yep.
the sergeant in arms has to take whatever they've
Yes.
written and will take it.
So Deanna and Joe are the contestants. After Ahmed is done speaking, we will give you 5 minutes on the clock to write down any notes you want to make about Ahmed's speech. After the 5 minutes is up, we will take away your notes. We'll go out into the hallway and distract you so that you can't do any more thinking. And so when let's see, Deanna's first. So Deanna comes in and you get your notes, but Joe can't have his notes. And then when Joe comes in, he gets his notes. Make sense, everybody? Okay. Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster.
With that, I'd like to invite our speaker for today, Mr. Amit Ghosh. Amit is asking for 5 to 7 minutes for his speech, and the title of his speech is Motivation 3.0. Welcome, Amit Ghosh.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and most distinguished guests. Look in front of you. Look at the person sitting beside you. Look at the person sitting behind you. You're actually seeing a hero today. Maybe look to yourself. Maybe you are the hero yourself. Today I'm going to talk about what motivates a person to be a hero. It's titled Motivation 3.0. We stay work in a great place, Mayo Clinic. Every day I'm hearing about somebody struggling. The struggling can be happening in administration, it can be happening in the supply chain, it could be happening in the clinical realm where the patients are struggling. But somebody steps up. Somebody steps up for no good reason, they're not paid extra for it, and they work on it and solve the problem. So we don't hear fire alarms going on, people running out of the doors, chaos. We don't see that. In fact, we try to create chaos ourselves by training ourselves to deal with chaos. Who are these people? The other day I read about this nurse who overheard a patient who was in the ER, and the doctor told the patient, you got to get in, you got an infection, we got to do an operation on you. The patient said, but I've got my truck and my dog parked outside. The nurse overheard it. He says, don't worry, I will take care of it. The nurse went outside the ER only to see it was not a pickup truck. It was a semi-truck parked illegally. The dog sticking his head out. Where's my boss? He didn't shut up. He took the phone and called Walmart and said, hey, we got a truck out here. We got such a big parking lot. Can we just park it? I don't want this poor lady to get $700 if this truck is towed. Walmart says, that's our chance to do some social responsibility act. Yes, the manager said. The nurse went and met his buddy nurse, who in his past life was a semi-truck driver. He says, can you please drive the truck to the Walmart parking lot? There goes the truck to the Walmart parking lot. He takes the dog, walks the dog to the local vet. The vet checks out the dog, says, let me see your tonsils. Checks it out, tonsils fine, all these kind of check. He goes and gets a big bag of dog food. Never had a dog himself. Take the dog home. Tells the lady, don't worry. Be in the hospital. Once you get better, we'll get your dog back and your truck back. What motivated this person to do what he did? Before I talk about what Motivation 3.0 is today, I'm going to talk about 3 things. 2 of them are facts and 1 is an opinion. Fact number 1, lack of motivation. How expensive is it? $500 billion in US alone. 50% of US workers are lacking motivation. Some aspect of their life, some aspect during the day. It's costing us $500 billion. Now, none of us know what $500 billion is. When our salary started with $10,000 a year, how can I fathom 500 million? 500 billion. 500 billion is the gross domestic product of Portugal. Wow! Israel. Wow! And Singapore. 3 big countries. Just imagine our lack of motivation is the amount of money these three countries make together. Opinion. The opinion is the standard terms which we use as managers. How many of us are managers here, or managing somebody? Yeah, we use words like value, differentiation, productivity, quality. They don't inspire. George Hamel from Harvard Business Review said, they don't inspire us to work harder. So we've got to have some pointers working on it. Fact number 2, 1970 research done in Harvard Business School, University of Rochester, and Carnegie Mellon. 3 places they did that. The moment there's a task to be done and we assign a dollar value to it, you say you're going to be paid X number of dollars, it diminishes the intrinsic motivation of doing more. So these are the 3 facts which our author Daniel Pink took when he wrote this famous book, Drive. Strongly recommend. He talked about motivation 1.2, which is the basic motivation. Food, drink, shelter, basic survival. We all need it. That's the motivation. It's like an operating system. When the operating system goes up, motivation 2.0, carrot and a stick, which we use as parents. If you do well in school, you get to go to the Mall of America. If you don't do well in school, you don't get to play video games. Carrot and stick. Works for an extent. Money, reward. It doesn't inspire. Motivation 3.0 is where it's a kind of a special gift which we have. Something which inspires us from within. The nurse who did what she had to do for the patient. Something which inspires. They found out there are 3 elements. One is autonomy. You got to do it for yourself. Something which you value. Nobody's messing around with you. You want to grow, that's what it is. Autonomy. Very true to an American. Mastery is something where I will learn which will improve my overall situation. And finally is purpose. The purpose is helping someone beyond yourself, a bigger cause. I look at the Toastmaster officers, I look at Tanya as a motivation 3.0. Are you going to be the area governor next year? There's no money associated with it. She has to burn her own calories and drive in all the way to go to Winona every time to find out how the club is doing. The leaders out here who are holding the contest today, Motivators 3.0. Another one sitting there, Elizabeth, Motivator 3.0. Now the strange thing which happens is to have motivation 3.0, you have to have the right environment. You have to create the right environment. The fear is if you take away the environment, you go back to a lower operating system. If I make it a dictatorial place or somewhere where I take away and just tell you what to do, it goes from motivation 2 and then motivation 1, where everybody's struggling for food. So it's very important. It's like our lifeline to keep everybody supporting this part of our life which would support motivation 3.2. So as managers, what can we do? As managers, we have to be humane. I looked at it to find out. We have to infuse some soul-searching terms. When you manage somebody, just don't tell them about quality and metrics. We in Mayo use it. The need of the patient comes first, and everything gets resolved. That's a motivation 3.2 statement. As a manager, we have to talk about learning, creating, and improving the world. It's not a cliche. It's our life itself. Motivation 3.2, ladies and gentlemen, let's all get to it. Motivation 3.2. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Amit. With that, I'll invite Tanya back up to, just
So
want me to
the
jump into that. So,
Consensus.
okay. Do they need to stay in here, or
Yep.
can they go somewhere?
Stay here.
Okay, so what we'll do now is we will give our evaluator contestants 5 minutes. And just in respect to them, I'll just ask that you keep your conversations down and that type of thing, and we'll get started in about 5 minutes.